Hello, welcome to another Legacy Enchantress video. This is Spatula of the Ages. Today we're going to be running a more traditional solitaire-ish build of Enchantress as opposed to the Witch House, the Living Wish version. In truth, the lists are a lot more similar. The absence or presence of Living Wish is the main difference here. I do think Destiny Spinner, the new card from Theros, is given cause for the list to homogenize a little bit. She is really, really good. A few days ago, Phil Gallagher of Death and Taxes for the Win and Thraben University played a modified list I sent him and 5-0'd in one video, tweaked it a little bit, didn't do it quite as well in the second video. But it was cool to see the deck perform, yeah, I recommend going and checking out that video if you haven't already and you're looking for Enchantress content. You do get to see Destiny Spinner perform a bunch of times. He also tried Clothis, but I don't think that ever came up. Yeah, so the build I'm running today is similar. I was convinced that Replenish wasn't really necessary anymore. With Destiny Spinner doing a lot of similar things against both the Fair decks and the Chalice decks. And obviously a lot cheaper and a kill condition to boot. So this list doesn't have Emrakul as a kill condition. I don't think she's needed anymore with Destiny Spinner being so powerful. There are, of course, corner cases, decks where you do want Emrakul, like against Sneak and Show, or decks that try to mill you out. But I think the frequency with which she's a dead card makes it not worth it. And I'm trying this over the Living Wish version because I don't think the metagame is predictable enough to make Living Wish good. To make Living Wish good, you need to have a pretty good idea of... You need to, first of all, have a good idea of what the metagame is going to be and have powerful wish targets to answer it, like Karakas or Wasteland or Game 1 Gaddock Teeg, that sort of thing. But the metagame's pretty open right now. The thing you do see a lot, obviously, is Breach, other combo decks as well. I've also been seeing a lot of Death and Taxes, and Eldrazi Stompy's making a big comeback. The list itself. The mana base, we're running Abzan colors. We've got a couple Groves, and the reason that we're running Groves is largely to protect the Destiny Spinners. It also gives you protection post-board against things like Force of Vigor, especially, as well as just regular Disenchants or Curls and Grips, or just Chain of Vapor on whatever it is that you have in play that you need to protect. And then the one main deck, Doomwake Giant, with the second in the side, being the only black portion of the deck. But some people, I've noticed, don't necessarily see the point of splashing black just for Doomwake Giant, but Doomwake Giant and Solitary Confinement are really like your two endgame cards against most decks. Your plan is going to be to drive towards one of those, unless you're playing against a deck where you are just straight up the aggressor, like a true control deck, in which case you'll just drive towards the Destiny Spinner and some big elemental tokens. Main deck Seal of Primordium with all the Breach. I think it's pretty good right now. I am playing 2 Ground Seals. If you watched Phil's video, he isn't so hot on Ground Seal, but I'm not sure I agree. Comparing Ground Seal to Rest in Peace, obviously Rest in Peace is a lot better against the unfair decks, especially Breach, which is relevant right now. But Ground Seal, I think, is better against the fair decks and Life from the Loam because it replaces itself and doesn't force you to go get your Savannah, which can expose you to Wasteland. It just makes it easier to cast, and against decks where neither does much of anything, Ground Seal at least draws a card and is in your primary color, so it's generally easier to cast. I'm running 1 Exploration today, as the 9th and Ancient Tomb being the 10th accelerant. So you've got the 8 wild growth effects, and with one observation I did have, similar to Phil, is that Destiny Spinner rewards you even more for having a lot of mana. So running a little bit extra mana kind of makes sense because you have more to do with it with Destiny Spinner. I'm not hot on main decking Carpet of Flowers because there are a lot of decks still around where Carpet of Flowers is just a dead card. So Exploration, I think, serves a similar role game one. First of all, it can actually just draw out a counter game one against a fair deck, because if they think you're on lands, which is generally going to be the deck running Exploration, it makes a lot of sense to counter the Exploration. It's not as reliable as acting as a turn 1, turn 2 accelerant, because you're only running 20 lands. But it is really strong in the mid game when you're going off, unless you get ahead several land drops. So I think I like a better main deck. What else? The one of Mirri's Guile. I saw people questioning that. Also, Guile isn't ever the most exciting card, maybe against the really grindy decks, but generally it's not wildly exciting, but it's better than pretty much any other card that would replace it. And it's okay to have a card that's, good against pretty much everything, while not being amazing against anything in particular, and you sometimes sideboard it out, or frequently sideboard it out for better cards. But the things you're sideboarding it out for always change matchup to matchup. So you can't just say, oh, well, then you should main deck whatever, the Fourth Grass, because sometimes that's bad, or the Carpet of Flowers, because sometimes that's bad. Mirri's Guile is never bad. The sideboard has a lot of combo hate. I'm going to run 3 Mindbreak Traps, Collector Ouphe, Pridemage, Gaddock Teeg as Zenith targets, depending on the matchup. A couple of Veils, Choke, and then the 1 Carpet of Flowers in the sideboard, Karakas against Reanimator, Omnitel, as well as against Death and Taxes, or any deck running Leovold. Cast out for Sneak and Show, Omnitel, any deck running Leovold or Narset, as well as more of the Post and Chalice type decks where we'll take out grasses for Ouphe, Teeg, and cast out generally. And then 1 disenchant creature, probably for a ground seal. Anyway, yeah, so that's what we're running today. Let's go into a league. Your own Solitaire. Everything is... the list is correct. Let's just double check before we go in. So only 3 main deck grasses right now. Most of the time I run 4, but the metagame has a lot of decks where it's not that good against them. And Depths and Merit Lage decks have kind of dropped off. Delver is still around, and you really want grass against Delver. But we also have the 2 grows to help us find a grass if we need to. And, we still have 3 plus the confinement. That said, so I don't think this list is still, obviously I think combo is going to be our weakness, as is generally true with Enchantress. I do hope Breach gets banned. I do think it's entirely overpowered. People, I think, are maybe misled by the fact that there are so many ways to interact with it. And so they think that that makes it worse than the other combo decks like TES or Ant, or makes it fairer. But the issue is that the Breach decks require so little room for the actual combo and are able to just play a lot of control cards, and digging and selection, and just very few slots actually dedicated to the combo itself. So that's the problem. It's really easy to beat any hate because you have so much room for selection and answers. Okay. Round 1. What's the roll? So we have the acceleration here with exploration, and it's actually going to act as exploration, even if we don't draw a 4th land, which we could in 2 cards. So this is definitely a keepable hand. It also gets to maybe mislead them about what we're on for the first turn, which is nice. Maybe make them undervalue their counter magic as not being very good against lands. A turn 1 ponder, you know, could be anything, of course. But, okay, so now we're going to have 4 mana on turn 2 if this exploration resolves. That's okay. We lost some speed, but we baited out a Force of Will. Like I was talking about, if you think your opponent knows on lands, Force of Will in an exploration is kind of an automatic thing. Lands with exploration is far scarier than lands without exploration. Okay, that's Life from the Loam. They got 1 card, so we're definitely going to ground seal here. Life from the Loam with... So is this like bug lands? But they don't run enough blue cards for Force of Will. So it'll be interesting to figure out what we're up against here. We have 1 land and 3 cards remaining. Obviously, if this was Rest in Peace, we could have done that as well. We would have opened ourselves to Wasteland, which is possible that they're on. We also wouldn't have drawn a card. The upside of that would be, of course, that they can... Okay. So some sort of Simic... like Life from the Loam Uro type deck. I'm glad we're not up in the Wasteland. Alright, I'm going to play one of these Sprawls out. They could have like Ghost Quarter, but I want to be able to do a lot next turn. They don't seem like a deck where Doomwake Giant's going to be very good, so I'll just name white. They don't have Spell Pierce open, which is nice. They could daze it, I suppose. If they are on pretty much any deck with Life from the Loam, you kind of expect that they'll have... it's interesting that they dredge there. You kind of expect that they'll have the Dark Depths combo. Not finding a lot to dredge, even if they could Life from the Loam. It's interesting. So, I mean, if they are, like, playing black and they decay the ground seal, you know, obviously I'd have rather them not be able to, like, a Rest in Peace would have permanently gotten rid of their graveyard, but we'd still be up a card if that were what they're going to do. So they're going to put an Uro into play, which is annoying, but we don't care about the life. Oh, they had to... It takes out 5 cards? Okay, so they had to dredge to get Uro. I see. Well, they've got a useless Life from the Loam, though. Nice. We'll lead on to Sterling Grove. I doubt they have any way to deal this turn with... Would have liked to play around the Wasteland, but... I'm going to stop on my upkeep now that I've got Grove in play, just because that is always an option to pop Grove in your upkeep. You know, if they play something like Narset, perhaps. They are going to get ahead on this, but I mean, they're drawing an extra card a turn. We're drawing more than that. We're on a 3-turn clock. Oh, we're about to have Destiny Spinner in play. Ground Seal doing work. So they are in a black splash. What for? Leovold, okay. We are going to go for the Oblivion Ring during the upkeep. They could have Force of Will and another blue card off this Jace. It's not terribly likely. They're down 1 force. We knew one of the 4 cards was a Life from the Loam, so they'd have 2 cards. We can actually just Destiny Spinner first into Oblivion Ring, then Grass. We don't draw as many cards that way, but and we leave our spinner open to removal, but I'm willing to do that. Because we obviously need this Oblivion Ring to resolve. And that way we have the spinner in play. Probably should have used my Savannah to pop the Grove because of this open wasteland, but they didn't waste it anyway, which probably is a mistake. That's a good draw. And a land drop. Five, 6, 7, 8 mana. So you need 10 mana for 2 elementals, but even if they do find another Leovold, we've got Spinner on board, so they have to deal with that. So now they've gone up a couple cards, but one of them is Life from the Loam, which is dead. They're going to get rid of it with Chase, presumably. Costing 2 here, not super relevant, but we were just playing Grass for the card draw. They didn't play a fetch land after their Chase. It's interesting. And it's interesting that, I don't know why they would play that land. Okay, we'll try to... Does this thing have trample? No. Such unblocking it is also an option. Or we can just Oblivion Ring the Uro, and then make an elemental and kill the Jace. I mean, they must have something over there, right? Could decay. But then they would just decay the O-Rain, right? It makes sense to let me draw a bunch of cards for no reason. Now they could have a snake, obviously, but the land has trample. So we lose the land, but they lose their Jace and their snake. I'm fine with losing a land drop. I might not have realized that it has trample. They have a lot of life, but we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 next turn, so that's 2 elementals, that's 18. 20 damage if Spinner also attacks, but I'm not really going to attack with Spinner because of the snake. Risk of snake. Dangerous snake. It's annoying. You know, there's an argument I guess I could have just saved my second O-Rain, but I don't really want them getting ahead on cards, and also we are at 6. Again. This is an interesting deck over here. I think Uro's pretty good. So when people were spoiling it, people were saying it wasn't legacy playable, but I mean, it seems pretty good to me. Okay, so next turn we can kill. We can't this turn, right? Can we? We can. I mean, we can make 2 guys, but that's not a kill. We need at least 3. They're gonna attack again. Let's get a Grove out. This doesn't have trample, right? Not crazy. Okay, so we'll just jump block it with an Argothian next turn. Or we can actually just Confinement. Have the kill next turn. We are at 13 enchantments, so Okay. Don't need more enchantresses. Zenith will help prevent us decking. Which is something to watch out for without Emrakul. With Emrakul, it's a lot easier to just sort of be lazy and avoid accidentally decking yourself. With just Zenith as your anti-decking measures, you have to be a little more conscious of how many cards are left in your deck. They would need 2 instant speed answers, like Abrupt Decays, to deal with this confinement, but that's possible, and I don't need this Argothian. In fact, I kind of would rather just not deck. So I don't need this forest anymore. Trying to think what they could possibly have, but I think we just have it. You can Wasteland in response. They don't. I don't think it's a... Is it still a land? Or is it just a creature now? Okay. Okay. So again, they could have double decay, so you'll chump block. We don't really need both anyway. We will go ahead and draw some cards next turn just because we want to find another land to attack with. Wild growth just to get the elementals bigger. Okay, out of fatal pushes. So definitely want choke here. Grass seems pretty poor. We want cast out for sure. They have Leopold. Confinement, I think, is necessary. We'll keep that over grass. They have both decay and counter magic, so Veil of Summer is going to be good. Karakas isn't bad. It bounces that Uro, although they do have Wasteland, so that's something to keep in mind. Doomwake seems mediocre. I guess it kills snakes. That's about it. Ground Seal very good. Destiny Spinner very good here. Seal of Primordium, I guess, does it have any targets at all? Well, Veil. I think the amount of mana we have 29 mana sources, I think that's fine. We'll replace a Wild Growth with a Carpet of Flowers, rather than add even more mana. We do want to have some number of threats here. Gaddock, I'm not sure does anything besides stopping Force Will and Jace, which isn't enough, I think, because it would stop Zenith and cast out as well. There could be an argument for like Knight or Pridemage, just in case they have something random. Like they could bring in Narsets, and then Pridemage can make an Argothian a lethal attacker sometimes. It's pretty corner case, but I would be doing it largely in case they have some enchantments I'm not thinking of that I might be scared of. I'm not sure that I need all this mana, though. They have a couple Wastelands, but maybe we'll cut the two. And then what do we want? Maybe throw enchantment count. We've got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 is good. It's hard to know. I mean, they're definitely on a rogue list, so it's a little difficult to guess what it is that I would want here. I don't think even with grass, or even with choke, I don't think grass is going to be good enough. I guess the wild growth. It's a lot of mana. Or do I want the Ancient Tomb? No, I'll take the wild growth. Submit, submit. Work, yes. Alright. Not a threat dense hand, but could be good to turn 2 choke. Let's remove that stop for now. That's a good draw. Good pickup. Alright, we'll name white. Since we took out our Doomwakes. White is the only color we need. Not really interested in walking either of these into a spell pierce. However, if they left in fatal pushes, which they might, probably not, then like Spinner, I don't like walking Spinner into open mana because even if she trades for removal, I want it to be on their turn when they've untapped. But this could easily just be Brainstorm into Fatal Push, and then they've had a pretty good amount of tempo. But the same is true for Spell Pierce. I'm going to lead with the Choke. I'd rather the Choke get countered than the Presence. If they have another land drop, they can decay on their turn. But that might have stopped them from end of turn brainstorming, so it's not bad, I suppose. I'm also not wildly interested in playing a presence where I can't then draw a card off of it. Especially since we have this cast out, I think I'll wait a turn until I'm out of Pierce range. And I can go presence plus spinner. And I can cast out something that they play. I assume this is going to be an abrupt decay. That's fine, I'm trading that with the choke. I think I'd rather actually Destiny Spinner on my turn and have this be uncounterable. I know I'm playing rather slow, but they're not putting any pressure on me. I think their deck's pretty slow. I can afford to play around a lot of things. I should have just played the presence. That was dumb. That was a mistake. That one was straight up a mistake. I should have gone spinner, presence, and got, because I still need to get the presence online before Leovold is even hurting me. Okay. So I left in Fatal Push. That's good to know. It's reasonable enough. It's worth thinking about that, like, I'm a little open to surgical without my Doomwakes. That was a mistake. I really needed to play that presence. The tempo loss is big. Alright, so next turn we cast out. Hopefully they don't have a Force of Will. If they do, we draw another card, and we can dig for our Karakas or an Oblivion Ring. Maybe I should leave in the Doomwakes just for Leovold. Like, they're not a great answer to Leovold, but they're okay. Yeah, I think I'll do that instead of the Wild Growth. Probably just the one. Yeah, see, my fuck up with the presence now is giving them extra time to find the Force of Will. I'm still going to wait on their turn. Yeah, no, they can just hardcast Force. No, they can't. I could just main phase, cast out here. It does give them the chance to Pact of Negation. Or not Pact, Force of Negation. But, the upside is I can go Exploration and start drawing cards. And they're tapped out now, they can't hardcast Force. Well, they can't run in the lock. So that's something. Two forces down. So next turn, I'm on a bit of a clock here, is another issue. Next turn I Grove. The following turn I find, oh yeah, okay, I'm just dead the following turn, okay. On the play, Exploration is less likely to accelerate, so maybe I'll trade that out. because you don't have the extra card, so you're less likely to find the 4th land. So try that out for Doomwake. Have the extra Doomwake. I think instead of the Confinement, I'll just have the other Doomwake, just because they are answers to Leave Old, although they're not amazing at it. Yeah, obviously not great at killing Uro. But we'll do it this way. Okay. This way we have 5, 6, 7, 8 answers to Leo. That's pretty good. We will keep that. We'll lead with the Guile, because we don't want to carpet early and discourage them from playing an island. This is awkward because I don't want to shuffle. I like all of these cards. Just leave it on top. Next turn, we'll have a significant amount of mana. It kind of depends a bit on what they do. We'll lead with the carpet. Because it'll generate an extra mana, 1 for the Sanctum, 1 for their islands. And green. And this way we're out of Spell Pierce range. Okay, I did like those cards on top, but we'll just draw the cards. We do have Guile. Now, obviously their best play here is to leave Vault. We do have Doomwake, and the top 3 cards to find something else. I do wish we didn't have to have shuffled away that Oblivion Ring. Oh, that's awkward. Well, hopefully they don't have Force of Will. One time. Now, it's important that we put Doomwake. We can at least get one card out of this. Alright. So Doomwake was a good bring-in. I mean, that's fine. We still have more mana than they do. Really glad we brought in Doomwake and they didn't have Force of Will. Don't have another one. Don't have another fucking thing. We have 2 new cards. Alright, now our Doomwake goes away, becomes an elk. That's fine. He did his job. We'll take the free cards first. I'm going to play this before the Argothian because I've got a bunch of free cards. I'm more worried about maximizing my mana this turn. I'm going from the big land onto the small land, meaning the more stacked one, because I want to be able to play every wild growth effect I draw. Okay. Now we can choke. It's not amazing here, but I'd rather affect the board. We've got enough card draw going. Rather than play the Argothian, I'll just keep my Veil up. We'll attack Oko, make sure I can't steal my Doomwake. They need an artifact in order to... Well, no, they can make a food token and then I can't kill it. Okay, here, they make this an elk. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to use Carpet here because I'll give them a chance to crack their fetch land and put another island into play. What was on top? A spinner. I want that spinner. Can I, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I had carpeted this turn, I actually could have put in the spinner and attacked and killed the Oko. So as it is, I'll wait a bit. Get our 3rd Enchantress out. I'm doing this one over the Argothian to draw cards and to avoid Plague Engineer being a pain in the ass. I think we just play our land here, and we can cast out something that matters next turn, and the following turn we can spinner. That's why we have cast out and veil up. So, I mean, the weird thing about Veil these days is it's more for the fair decks than it is for the combo decks, which, like, when it first got printed was like, Enchantress has finally a way to deal with tendrils and combo decks and stuff. But, like, now they've switched more to TES, where Veil isn't as relevant, and Veil's also, like, not really good enough against Breach, certainly not by itself. And, like, a lot of the Thoughtseize decks, combo decks, have kind of gone away, so Veil is really more for the fair decks these days. And we only have the one Sanctum left to really close out the game, so that's something to think about. And we don't have a ground seal yet. I'd like to get a ground seal out and shut off life from the moment if they left it in, which they may have not. I'll go ahead and cast out that with it on the stack. Do I want to cast out that or the Oko? That. Okay, there's Grove. Okay, spinner. Grove. Wild Growth. Okay. How much are we at? 16 enchantments, so we just have lethal. And they only have blue open. No, they can fatal push. No, they can't. That's no longer an astral. Okay. It's a bit drawn out, but we got there. Yeah, so missequencing, I think, was pretty fatal game 2. It's also, time consuming to play against a rogue deck because you have to try to figure out what on earth they could do, which is obviously part of the appeal of playing a rogue deck. Okay, on the play, an unkeepable hand. Okay, a much more keepable hand. We definitely want both the basics, the Utopia Sprawl, the Presence, the Zenith. The question is, do we want the Spinner or the Savannah? I'm inclined to throw back the Savannah. We've got more land. We've got a lot of mana. We don't necessarily need it. The Spinner could be really good. We will lead on white again. I could have Spell Pierce here. I could also have Swords to Plowshares, though. So I think the Pierce is going to get value either way. We can't really play around it. But I'll lead with the Zenith over the Presence, because if they resolve, I'd rather Zenith and then Presence so that I can draw a card. Brainstorming today's. Drop. Could be a lot of things these days with Oko everywhere. I suppose statistically it's some form of Delver. First of all, pitching Ice Flame. Okay, you got it. That's alright, I'm okay with that. Okay, it's Omnitel. Don't like that. Don't like that one bit. Leading on City of Traders, that's interesting. Does that mean end of turn intuition? Can't do too much about this. Grass is a lot worse against Omnitel than it is against the old Sneak and Show, which seems to have dropped off quite a bit in popularity. I think we have to play the presence. I suppose we can, is there a point to Wild Growth? No, I'd rather have the extra card next turn. To try to draw into Oblivion Ring if they don't have it this turn. One, two, three, four. If they don't have it this turn, we have a chance of drawing out. They're getting one of their three pieces. Presumably they have at least one other, hopefully not both. Hopefully it takes them one more turn to assemble their three-card combo. Looks like it does not. Oh, okay. Doesn't really matter. Maybe they whiff. They've got just like card draw, and they have to, and they whiff on the. I mean, this version only plays like two. I think they play like two Grizzle Brands and one Emrakul. It's not a whiff. Okay. All right. All right. So, Solitary Confinement is completely useless, and so is Doomwake Giant. Ground Seals, just draw a card. That's really not amazing. Might be better than other things. Carpet is acceleration. We want acceleration. We absolutely want the cast out. Knight of Autumn, Pridemage, Gaddock Teeg, Choke for sure. Veil of Summer stops intuition and can get a piece of hate through. Grasses are pretty useless, even with Choke. One Zenith can go. I do want to Zenith up Pridemage or Gaddock Teeg, but it's not like lights out, and Zenith is something that can't be show and telled, and is more likely to be like Zenith, Spell Pierced, or possibly even Flusterstormed. Karakas is actually pretty marginal against them because they usually will wait till they have Omniscience. Mindbreak Trap's good. Mirri's Guile is going to be too slow. One Destiny Spinner can go. I think one Grove can go. And maybe one. What's our enchantment count now? Probably an Enchantress, because we're willing to. Maybe the second Sanctum. We don't really need all this land. Like 29 is fine. Generally be sufficient. It's our enchantment count, though. We've got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 26. Pretty low, but maybe actually grab is fine, because like it's pretty quick at just putting the O-Ring into your hand, which is what you want. So maybe that over an Argothian so that our enchantment count doesn't go too much lower. Something like this. It lands, does have the cast out. Alright, it has O-Ring and Mindbreak Trap. We like that. We'll probably ship back the Zenith. Go turn 2 Argothian, turn 3 Presence. As our proactive plan with O-Ring and Mindbreak Trap as backup. Mindbreak Trap, if they did leave in Veil, I don't know why they would, but Veil doesn't stop Mindbreak Trap. Because it just says exile, not counter. So we'll ship back the Zenith. Okay, they take them all as well. So Show and Tell is one reason to play Oblivion Ring over Banishing Light, because Oblivion Ring can't be bounced with the come into play trigger on the stack. It will just permanently exile the Omniscience, whereas Banishing Light can. So if they have Cunning Wish, that makes a difference. Or even if they just have Dig, Instant Speed Dig for main deck, or post-board bounce, that also makes a difference. That's pretty good. I'll actually lead with that. I would rather have that than the Argothian in play. Again, we are the control deck, although we do have 2 pieces of hate already. Okay, they probably don't have it turn 2, and if they do, they don't have it around Oblivion Ring and Mindbreak Trap. So we will lead with the Argothian. And the Seal of Primordium is a really good draw. Hope these 2 are enough. If they do have it this turn. They should be. Just have it turn 2. All right. And what we need to be careful for, though, is bounce, because bounce would be pretty rough. Okay, that's a good draw. I'll go ahead and play that. I guess they could have, I don't know, Blood Moon or something wacky. They're obviously not going to tap out for those 2 extra cards. We're going to leave Veil open to protect our Oblivion Ring here. I might actually name blue just in case I need to hard cast this. Yeah, especially now that I drew another one. Two other. Okay, maybe I'll actually name green now and then blue on these boys. Choke is good. Nice. Alright, I don't see the reason to be greedy right now. We've got a lot open. And the only thing I would risk it for would be the choke, obviously. But there's no reason to do that since they're not even tapped. This is telegraphing Mindbreak Trap, I think. But I'm okay with that. Desperation Thinning. I suppose Mystic Sanctuary is pretty free for them, so yeah, that makes sense to. I mean, we're already bringing in a lot of cards. I don't think it's worth Ground Seal just for the one of, or maybe even two of Mystic Sanctuary. So we'll put Knight of Autumn into play. If it's an Emrakul or Grizzlebrand, we'll end a turn cast out. I'd rather save the cast out. We'll make it a better clock. In response to them drawing cards, we will cast out the Grizzlebrand. They'll be on a pretty fast clock here. Now, if they show and tell again, we'll put in Abundant Growth because with. We'll turn off auto yields. Oh no, we don't have an Abundant Growth in play. Because that way, the Abundant Growth trigger goes on the stack and they don't get priority, so we can seal Primordium and Omniscience before they get a chance to Emrakul. So they could snake here. It's honestly not the end of the world, though. Maybe we'll draw some cards first, though. Destiny Spinner would just end this, right? But we need a I meant to play Abundant Growth. Fuck me. That could have been a big mistake. That was a really dumb misclick. Alright, well. Even if they snake here, they lose 2 lands. Okay, so she takes off Ancient Tomb. We don't need all these lands. Don't need all these Enchantresses either. I'd rather they not know about Ancient Tomb. It might throw off what they think is possible from me. I'd misunderestimate. I also can't force of will here. Now that they've done that. So we're actually just okay to counter this. Even if they spell Pierce. We bail. All right. Go to game 3. It was possible that it was right to let the show and tell resolve. I'm not sure what they could possibly have put in that would have won. Generally, I'd rather not take the risk, but there was a benefit to not letting them know about Mindbreak Trap. I was making the assumption that they'd already figured out about Mindbreak Trap from me naming blue. I think this is fine. Again, Ground Seal is possible now that we know they're on Mystic Sanctuary, but I don't think it's better than anything that we've got going on here. Like, we don't want to reduce our Enchantress count too much because we do want to draw cards, right? So that we can get ahead. A fast start with Mindbreak Trap. It's not ideal, but I'm definitely not going to mulligan it. I'd rather have Oblivion Ring than Mindbreak Trap, especially since they know about it now. If they were on a Virgin Splashing Red, it would be harder to sideboard because we'd still want grass. All thin. It's pretty marginal, but life total really doesn't matter here. So we don't want to telegraph Mindbreak Trap. We'll name white. Not ideal. There would be an argument for abundant growth just because, like, the random card could be an Oblivion Ring, but given that we haven't drawn any other enchantments, that's not an option. One spell. Just put a land into play. We still need to draw cards off that abundant growth. Should have put a fetch land into play. Hopefully they have to dig for Emrakul instead of just having it. No, they just have their 3-card combo. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Nothing we can do about that. We have not enough permanents. If they were a turn behind, we'd be, or if we were on the play, we'd be in a much better position. But you know, one thing about Omnitel, it's more deterministic, but it's less consistent than Snake and Show. So like usually, it's pretty rare that they just have their 3-card combo off like a couple of cantrips. I mean, so they got pretty lucky, but the deck can do that. This would be a shaky hand on the draw, because there'd be a lot of ways to disrupt it. On the play, we've got 2 mana on turn 2. We would really like to draw land, but even if we don't, we've got 3 pretty good plays. So we will name white with Utopia Sprawl, because we do have the confinement, and we are quite likely to just draw off basic forest. We will obviously be getting a basic forest. Especially now with Grove. Running 2 Groves, we will definitely be naming white. I didn't used to be a big fan of Grove, but I think the metagame shifted to make it a little bit more favorable, and now with... Nice. So the nice thing about Destiny Spinner is the Destiny Spinner does not care at all about Chalice. The bad part is that Mishra's Bauble means they're more like a combo-y deck rather than just like straight up Chalice Prison deck. If they have Thought-Knot Seer, I want to get the Argothian out. I have 2 spinners, so I can wait a turn. I'm also not going to just like cycle the grass, because grass isn't useful against their combo, whatever that might be. But Karn. Okay, so Karn's the real issue. If we can double spinner, we can make it so that we can threaten the Karn, even if they get Lattice here and have the other soul land. No, they have to make a meadow cutting. Okay, which is annoying. Good. So I'll spinner first. So they have to find something to protect Karn. So Destiny Spinner just opens a lot of new lines for the deck. Even just having these bodies on board, threatening their Karn, changes the way this would go. Normally I'd have to like desperately dig for an Oblivion Ring to get rid of Karn. But these guys can just attack even if there's a Lattice in play. These Guiles, rather, sorry. Now they can kill this land, for example. But if they do that, they've got 3 mana to find something to defend their Karn. Actually, rather they got rid of that than this land. I need the green. Alright, that technically saves your card for 1 turn. Also draw an Oblivion Ring. Good. So now these guys can't even be pained because of Grove. I'd like to just draw the card here, to be honest. So if they don't destroy a land this turn, which they probably will, then, yeah, sure. They're at 10, and they're relying on 2 Ancient Tombs for mana. So how are you going to defend Karn this time? If I had 1 more mana, it would be worth grabbing for the Oblivion Ring, but we do. Well, probably not, actually. I was just saying, actually, I forgot that we have Seal of Primordium, but there it is. I do like Seal of Primordium for the Forge. Obviously don't need the grass here. Let's start off by killing Karn. And we will cycle through this grass. So we have 2... No, we have 3 new cards on top. Oh my god. I accidentally F6 through my turn, forgetting that I want to destroy the Mystic Forge. The best thing they could do here would be another Karn, but then they're still going to 5. They could make a 3/3 ballista. They don't want to. They're making a chump blocker. Not very exciting. What do we want to do this turn? Swing in. Put him at 5. And what else? Get our second Enchantress out. Oblivion Ring, the liquid metal coating. Let's save the Oblivion Ring. I'll Zenith and have the Oblivion Ring in hand. It'll shuffle. We'll see 3 new cards next turn. I have 2 Enchantresses in play. And we'll have the Oblivion Ring for whatever scary thing that might play next turn. We can make it a 2/2 in response, but still doesn't matter. Still not big enough. Maybe it's just better to get the 3rd Destiny Spinner here, given their life total. I think I like that. Spin, spin, spin. So, Spinner dominating here. Threatening Karn, shutting off Chalice. Made this a very different game than it would have been before she was around. Alright. Grass is really bad. I mean, it cycles. But that's about it. I'm not sure I like having more 1-drops on the play. Or on the draw, I mean. Well, we definitely want Pridemage, Ouphe, and Teeg. Probably Knight of Autumn as well, and cast out Doomwake. Questionable. Very questionable. I think Guile is... So the thing is, Guile, you want to play turn 1 or 2. But likely, if they open with a Chalice, we have to wait for Spinner to get online, and by that point, Guile's not as good anymore. So maybe something like this. If they're like secretly on Eldrazi and they just had a weird draw, but no, that's not really. What do the Mystic Forge decks run? Let's start with that. I'm not really super familiar with them. Bomberman? Doesn't really. Oh, we did see, yeah. Is it Bomberman and they just had a weird draw? Quite possible. So we then definitely want the ground seals. Ground seal shuts off the salvagers themselves. Yeah, I think something like this. Mindbreak Trap, I guess, could be good, but I'm not sure it's needed. And what's our enchantment count? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I think this is sufficient. I think Ground Seal is better than Mindbreak Trap, even though it costs mana. So we've got a turn 2 play even if they open on Chalice. I think that's fine. If they have an aggressive start, we're just dead, but yeah, I don't know, maybe on the draw actually we should be bringing in the Mindbreak Traps. That's fine. Interesting that they would be so reliant on that given how last game went. You don't want to fetch in case they have Sorcerer's Spyglass. Karn is annoying. So fast start. Just have the third soul land. Why is that happening? They have Auriok. Or is this one of the Echo versions? I didn't see an Echo last time, but that doesn't mean anything. If they're on Echo, we definitely would want Mindbreak Trap. We could probably take out the Doomwake. I think next turn we Destiny Spinner. Zenith for Destiny Spinner. I guess actually they just have Alanis this turn, don't they? Yeah, with the LED. You can at least see their hand. Mindbreak Trap wouldn't have worked there. They only cast the 2 spells. I mean, they were on the play, and they had a pretty perfect start, so that's okay. Oh, we did take out the Doomwake Giant. Okay, that's good. So it's the Zenith? No, that's not good. Maybe instead of an exploration, a Mindbreak Trap. Doesn't work well with Teeg. I do like Teeg. Teeg deals with more of their stuff. I think it's fine. I think we'll just lead this time. Be able to like play a turn to Zenith for Ouphe or whatever. Shut them off. Turn to Zenith for Ouphe. Confirmed. We'll still lead with Ouphe. Next turn with Tim, we can Argothian into Spinner into Abundant Growth. Can you like make this bigger? Thank you. I hope that fucked them up. They didn't name Eldrazi. That's good. I thought Natsu coming our way. I mean, I guess they could have a Containment Priest. Not very likely. No. Mystic Sanctuary costs 4 or 6? Mystic Forge, rather. 4. Okay, I was gonna say, so that's probably their best play. Well, they don't get the reshuffle at least. Nice. Two, 4, 5. It's enough to play both of these and leave the mana open for the Pridemage. I like that. That's good. Right, but wait, no. I need to... No, it's not, because I need both the white. So, Knight plus Presence. So lead with the Presence, because we could draw Wild Growth. Maybe we could, like, make a creature. No, that's not good. I need the white mana, so I'm going to go ahead and get this mana out. I mean, we need the white mana for future turns also, because of our draws. We actually just have lethal on board if they use Tomb. So what will they do? Mentor. Mentor is a thing. We don't have Doomwake. It has to be mentioned. We don't have Doomwake. That said, they don't really have instant speed stuff. So they can't, like, combat trick. I want to start preserving my life because of these guys, so I'll go ahead and turn this into a painless land. Although now that I drew the Oblivion Ring, I kind of don't care as much anymore. Let's get rid of the monk. No. Ouphe plus Gaddock Teeg seems like lights out. Well, there's no reason to rush any of these guys into trading with a bunch of tokens when we can sit back a turn and next turn attack with some giant elementals. I suppose that was possible. Do you think? Do they like take out Chalice post board, then like I was gonna say Swords of Plowshares for Ouphe? Seems not great, but alright. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, 2 lands. Yeah, that's it. Well, attack with the fish land. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Beat Bomberman. Off the back of Spinner and our Zenith targets post board. Looked like they had well, assuming they already had the Salvager, they could have had the turn 2 kill. So getting Ouphe seemed good. I was thinking, so I might have opened myself to a potential boarding situation, depending on what they did, where the Salvager kill isn't stopped by Gaddock Teeg, so they could just Swords to Plowshares. That said, it would require them having the Ballista and the removal and the Salvager in hand. Not very likely. Otherwise, they draw infinite cards. With the following turn, it's not like they have counter spells. So this is a lot of mana. It's mostly vulnerable to Wasteland with 1 extra draw. I don't think we keep this. Alright, much better. Alright, so we need this, and this, and this, and this. Probably this and this with these lands. Obviously, exploration looks a lot shakier, so we'll go ahead and get rid of it. We're not going to 6 to a turn. We don't want them to know we don't have Force of Will. Given that we've got the Sanctum, I'm going to go ahead and name green, because green mana could be a bottleneck if I name anything else with this hand. So like turn 1 Ponder into turn 2 Preordain suggests that they're digging and that they're a combo deck. It's a little scary. Can't be sure which type of combo deck they are. Tundra would suggest Breach, but we can't Zenith for anything game 1. Nor can we hope to Grove. Well, no, that doesn't work. To Seal of Primordium, I was thinking, but no, it's a decent try. There's no real reason to get the non-basic here. Hopefully they don't have it. What did they do with the Preordain? 2 on the bottom, that's good. On the Ponder, did they shuffle? It didn't shuffle. Okay. They like Force of Will. I'm okay with it. Next turn we can Zenith outside of Pierce range. Yeah, this is definitely Breach. Well, I don't see what we can do about it at the moment. So we will Zenith now, play a Grove. Might actually be worth spinner instead of Argothian because I just want to get a seal out. I mean, how often do Jeskai Breach decks like main deck bounce? Or is it just sideboard? Yeah, I don't think they have any main deck bounce, so... Oh, they do. They have Seal of Cleansing. They can Seal of Cleansing my Seal of Primordium. Okay, then we need to be more proactive. Well... Set stop on our upkeep. Solitary Confinement isn't going to work because they'll just go off and then put Seal of Cleansing in the graveyard. So hopefully we got another turn. We can go get Seal of Primordium. Seal of Primordium also only buys a little bit of time, even assuming that it resolves. It's true that Rest in Peace would be a lot better here. I'm gonna dig because I could find Destiny Spinner or another Zenith, and I'd rather do that first and then Seal of Primordium. And this will be mana neutral, nice. So that paid off. Now they can still also just have 2 Underworld Breaches, which I've lost to before. With Seal of Primordium looking sad out there doing nothing. So this is another line spinner is opening up for the deck, so yeah. I think generally most Enchantress players realized it was good when it came out. Saw a couple people doubting oh, you're opening yourself to removal. Who cares? Not high. Alright, now we've also got a reasonable clock. 2-turn clock? Can swing for 8 next turn. Probably twice 2 elementals the turn after. There's a thought about whether that was worth it just for the pumping. I don't think it is. Well, I'll go first. Don't fear Wasteland. Seven, 8. And any extra green? No. Wait, 1, 2. 7. Well, it doesn't matter, I suppose. Is there anything else main deck that I could draw into that interacts with them? Just Sterling Grove, I suppose. Okay. Versus attacking for 12, 14, 15. Doesn't matter, it doesn't cost them any life to go off, so it doesn't increase our clock to make 2 elementals this turn. So I might as well draw some extra cards. I guess I should have just played another spinner because the colorless spin is useless. I have the turn next turn, kill next turn anyway, so there's no point really in making the elemental this turn. I guess I'm opening myself up into brain freeze here. Let's leave it here. I've got the kill. Oh my god, I forgot to do it. It doesn't matter, it does. It's 15 cards. That I stop playing spells. Do they have a second one? Oh no, that's them. So this is difficult. If they've already got the Underworld Breach, it's very awkward. Looking for Severn's Reclamation. Did they find it? No, they did not. I'm honestly happy this is close, but I think they might have it, yeah. We really don't have much against them game one. We're relying, our sideboard is pretty thick against them. Yeah, see here, they're just gonna like Underworld into Underworld. Yep. Let's save some time here. Okay. So, what is not very useful? Well, okay, so they could bring in mentors, so let's think about that for a minute. But confinement in general is going to be pretty bad. Grass is going to be pretty bad. Doomwake is going to be pretty bad. Mindbreak Trap is definitely going to be good. Choke is going to be okay. Ground Seal doesn't do anything. I guess I should be doing this so you guys can see. Oblivion Ring doesn't do anything at all, except against maybe Mentor. But Veil Summer is okay, not amazing. Pridemage is good. Ouphe is very good. Teeg doesn't do anything. Carpet in place of Exploration is fine. Cast Out is theoretically possible. Theoretically, you can get a Breach with it if you have a lot of mana. Maybe it's better than like another Enchantress. This is more grass, but I am still a little concerned about Mentor. Cast out kills Mentor too, I suppose. Though not as efficiently, it has to be said. Maybe one Enchantress effect. What's our enchantment count? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27. I've seen worse. What we're going to look for are hands with Mindbreak Trap or a fast Zenith or Ouphe. Potentially Pridemage as well. Choke is pretty situational. But feels okay. If they bring in bounce, it's good against that. It can also be good to play early when they're comboing off, preferably if they've played a blue spell, but maybe not. So that later our Mindbreak Trap is uncounterable. So this has all the things we like. So we will keep, we will sprawl, naming green, we will play Ouphe with Veil of Summer backup. If we're lucky, we won't even have to reveal the fact that we brought in Mindbreak Trap. We'll see. I am going to play the Ouphe first to get a clock going. I didn't think about this. Now it's slightly awkward. I need to... Okay, I need to Seal of Primordium. Now this does give them a chance to bounce the Ouphe because I can't keep the Veil open, but they need to have the ability to bounce and go off through a Seal of Primordium and a Mindbreak Trap. So that's okay. I've seen worse. Okay. The land would be a good draw so that we can get our Pridemage. Okay. It's not exactly what I wanted. Let's attack first. If they have bounce, we have the Mindbreak Trap and the Seal. I'm going to get the Pridemage to increase our clock. Or Presence to actually increase our mana count and start drawing cards next turn to try to find this for us so we can keep Veil open. It's hard to say. Alright, we'll do it like that. pairs. That's fine. I'm totally fine also just trading 1-for-1 generally, since I'm trying to prevent them from going off. One, two. Cannot Mindbreak Trap. Okay. Given how few cards they have, I want to get the Argothian now while I think it might be safe. I still have the Seal and the Mindbreak Trap to protect us from whatever shenanigans they might have. I didn't leave white open like an idiot, now I can't grove. That was dumb. That was pretty dumb. Maybe I think I have another Bayou. I'm also like really okay trading 2-for-1s here. Still, we could play Grove even without the Enchantress. And in turn, we can pop the Grove, or depends on what they do. If they cantrip, choke. They don't. So, is it worth getting the presents? We don't have anything to draw right now, so it's probably not worth it this turn. What else would we be able to get? Nothing incredible. Let's wait a turn. I will use Grove this turn. I guess I could just Brain Freeze though, so there's that to consider. Hadn't thought about that. I was just thinking I really want to get an enchantment. Maybe a Destiny Spinner. Just to start pressuring them. I think I like that. I might just counter it though. By Brain Freeze anyway. Yeah, they're just gonna Brain Freeze. Alright. That's annoying. We still have Mirri's Guile. But with an Enchantress in play, we don't necessarily need the reshuffle effect as much. Still. Which is better, the thinning? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14 lands left in the deck. 13 if we fetch. It's pretty marginal reduction, but we also need to chain multiple draws. So like with the Enchantress effects, the thinning is a little better because you're trying to like draw a lot. Alright, that's annoying because we can't deal with that right now. Doomwake better than grass? Perhaps. Doesn't cycle, is the thing. Not very well, I mean. Enchantment. It's a good start. I like that. They're tapped out. Let's find that choke. Another enchantment. Enchantment. We're not defending against their combo anymore. We've got the Mindbreak Trap and the Seal, and they're clearly going for like a B plan. We will leave out the ability to make 4/4 blockers. That will... 4/4 is not good enough to go to the face quite yet, but it is good enough to hold them back for a turn. Assuming they don't have another answer, which would be very annoying. Another Abundant Growth would be nice. Off you go. Ha! A second one. That's annoying. They are at a high life total. We've got our Destiny Spinner. We do need to start drawing more enchantments. Very important that we draw more enchantments. Hopefully they don't find another cantrip. What instant speed free thing could they have? It's not possible, right? With one card? Oh, no. Yeah, why would they do that if they don't have it? Oh, fuck me. Seven, 8, 9, 10. There'll only be 10 after I fetch. That's pretty annoying, actually. I can't stop it, though. Hmm. This is the second spell, right? I just grape shot my spinner. I can Mindbreak Trap that. Shit. I need to make my elementals first. No, they're going to be smaller. That was done. How much damage are we looking at here? $15. If we block this, just chump it with the land. Okay, that's not lethal, so we have to counter the brainstorm so they don't find something else. It's even like a lotus petal here. It's bad. Three, 4, 5. I mean, I could jump block 2 and go to 7, which is a lot better than 2. I'm really hoping to find some enchantments. So I throw this in front. Do we throw a second one in front is a question. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can't. Because I fucked up. I should have done that. We could throw 2 in front if I hadn't fucked up the Seal of Primordium timing. Please hold him back. Sure use some good draws deck. Please give me some enchantments. Fuck you. Now we're just dead. Just like, fucking unreal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a lot of lands. That's really frustrating. We easily should have gone to game 3 had we just drawn an enchantment any time in the past 3 turns. We can't go for lethal. They've got too much. Had we blocked and saved ourselves 5 life, we'd be down a land. But maybe able to 4, 7, 8, 9 coming in. Yeah. We really needed to draw a land anytime in the past few turns. That's very frustrating. That's an enchantment. That's an enchantment. That was. We were about to get some really big elementals. That's incredibly frustrating. I should have gone to game 3. I've played this person before. What were they on? RIP home. Control. So if you don't think your opponent's on Wasteland... No, actually we don't have the Wild Growth. I thought we had the Wild Growth. That's just not a good hand. Alright, keep this. Ancient Tomb gives us options here. I think, though, I like having... Alright, we'll ship one. Cancel. No, because if we get Wastelanded, we need the second land, so I think we ship the Presence. I shouldn't have done that. I've been stifled a bunch recently. I don't know if it's actually more popular right now. Now, if they play a blue source, do we play around Daze? It's 3 damage off the top. If they are on Daze, then that life matters. Spellsnar's not wildly popular right now, for some reason, which is maybe a little strange. I'll actually, I could lead with the Exploration to bait a counter. And the next turn, I have like Argothian Ground Seal, which is quite strong. If they don't counter it, I can just Presence this turn. On the other hand, Spell Pierce is likely. Now, if we naturally draw a land, that'd be great. Otherwise, there's a debate about which route to go. Okay, good. Now there's no longer a debate. Alright, I'm going to Enchantress's Presence into Ground Seal and draw a whole lot of cards. First of all, Utopia Sprawl on the way. Oh, I'll go ahead and name black. Alright, that's a pretty good turn 3. Is that my turn 3? Yes. Okay, now the concern is if they're on some sort of combo. Could be anything. Could be Omnitell with like Teferi. Let's start with the free cards. Starting to get concerned about my life total, so I'll turn this into a painless land. Really looking for a Serra Sanctum to just go for the throat here. Seal of Primordium is good. Should answer whatever kind of combo that could be on. Slate of Destiny Spinner. We could find a Sterling Grove. Counterspell suggests that they are not in fact on combo, but just some kind of normal fair deck. We'll get a Destiny Spinner. This is a pretty good turn 4, to be honest. I guess there was no reason not to grow first. Yeah, so Seal of Primordium. We'll play a Confinement if we draw it, otherwise our turn is over. Okay. Are they on their, like, RIP Helm, but splashing green? Oh, they were already splashing green, so it's probably this. I think this is somebody that really, like, pilots the same deck. Under that assumption, Grass is not very good, and Choke is... Well, we know Choke is definitely good anyway. What are the things we're concerned about? We're concerned about Mentor, counters, and the RIP Helm kill. I guess Ground Seal's pretty pointless if they're on RIP. Pridemage is good. Not sure about Confinement or Grass. I think Veil is fine. Not sure if they're on the combo, but Cast Out's probably going to be fine either way. They're probably a deck that has permanents I want to destroy. I guess we definitely saw Sylvan Library, so we know like Knight of Autumn and Pridemage are probably fine, even if they're not on RIP Helm. What about Doomwake, though? It's good against Mentor, I suppose. That's about it, but that might be enough. Again, I think the mana count's fine, so Carpet for Wild Growth is fine. So I'm just leaving it in the Doomwake because I'm worried about a mentor type hand, which did happen last time. Ancient Tomb again, offering some good options here. We will keep this. We have a turn 2 Argothian or choke option. Not with Veil backup, but we can do that. Whichever we can do with Veil backup the following turn. Since I haven't tapped out, kind of wanted that last turn. And we know they play Counterspell. I'll wait a turn. Next turn have Veil backup, and then I'll have 3/5 mana, so I can go Argothian Choke or Argothian Veil. Yeah, if I snake here, it's fine. I draw a card. Impulse, okay. That's a lot better than a snake. That's for sure. Impulse does suggest, yeah, I think they're on this list. Okay. So I don't have enough for Argothian plus Choke plus Veil. So do we prioritize Choke now that we have the chance? I think we do. I could have Force of Will plus Spell Pierce. But other than that, interesting. Well, it's probably just better to wait a turn. Like, they could be holding the Force of Will because they have a Disenchant or something. And then if they Force of Will the Argothian, we actually don't do anything next turn unless we draw well. Whereas we can just wait a turn. I also like that Spinner means they're not as free to just library. Okay, or they can. But like, I can actually attack them pretty easily and just like kill a really low life total. I'm gonna try to get more mana for next turn rather than grass. I can grass next turn, that's fine. Okay, there we go. Now, they could... If we Destiny Spinner, let's say we've got 5, 6, 7 mana. That's enough to play the Spinner, swing for 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 gets blocked. No. Okay, so what I'm worried about is two things. We've got the Mentor to worry about, but also if this blows up the choke, they could just combo kill next turn. They've got a lot of mana. Now, Grass can take care of Mentor, and then Pridemage to deal with the combo kill. Yeah, that's fine. This is going to be a little awkward. Can't really do anything with that extra mana. If they seal the spinner, if they don't seal the spinner, we can just kill them next turn. We have some blockers, even if they get rid of the grass instead of the choke. And if they do that, they don't have a lot of mana to pump these guys. We can jump with the Argothian if we absolutely have to. Yeah. I suppose we could have swum with the Argothian just to trade with a monk. Or deal 1 damage, since it's exalted. 1 damage is relevant at this point. Bold. Very bold. They've only got 4 mana. They can't combo kill anymore because they can't use Tomb. Also, well, it does make sense to do that first. Alright. Now, Swords to Plowshares are any instant is lethal, so we do have to block 2 things. Okay, we block the energy field. Or we destroy the energy field now. We've only got 3 attackers. What? The fuck? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, we want to find a fetch land or an abundant growth. That's good. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I got it. Right, or do we need the 1 extra mana? No, it's... 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we do need it. Shit. Good thing we drew that fetch. How'd I do my math wrong? That could have been very awkward. I definitely think they should have attacked. Okay, 3-2. So we did lose to 2 combo decks. Why that's relevant. We lost to 2 combo decks, but they were close, I think. Even though we didn't go to Game 3, I feel like we really should have. We got pretty unlucky to not go to Game 3. That said, of course, Game 3 could have easily just been a blowout. I'm definitely not saying that it's a super favorable matchup. I think you're still unfavored, or still unfavorable to go up against combo decks, and Breach is really resilient. But yeah, I think the deck performed very well. Spinner was amazing, of course. Ground Seal versus RIP. It's true, Rest in Peace would give you the extra edge against the Breach deck, so maybe that's the way to go for the short term. I think in the long term, Breach is going to get banned. I do think the Ancient Tomb showed how good it can be. And of course it costs you life, but it also speeds you up, so you don't have to take as much damage from the opponent. So, you know, kind of a trade-off. And you do have ways to stop taking damage from it later on with Abundant Growth and Solitary Confinement. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Signing off.